Good morning, and what a lovely morning it is today. So as you can probably see, it needs a wash. That isn't why I'm coming out here today. I'm coming out here today because of this box, which means I'm finally going to try and fit something on this car. Yes, I said try. I'm going to fit something on the Clubsport that it doesn't have, which it should have. So in this bag are the corner splitters. These are from a company called, it's on the box there, but I'm trying to find DM Auto Teal. Yeah, those guys, DM Auto Teal. So obviously I want to clean up the front bumper before I put it on. I'm going to grease them as well because they're a little bit it's hard plastic and it's kind of a bit tricky to just mold it around those bumper corners. So I'm going to put a bit of grease on. I'm not going to use a heat gun or anything, just going to put a bit of grease to try and coax them in, and then get the positions for where the screws go, the screws come with them, and try and get them in. But first, before I do that, I need to wash the car, and before I do that, there's one crucial thing I need to do before I start washing this car, and that is closing the door and putting the window up. Right, so it's absolutely filthy. Don't complain about the M Sport badge. It's yeah. I know some of you weren't going to whinge about the M Sport badge, but look, BMW actually put the M Sport badge there on the kick plate. They put it on the steering wheel, so BMW can put it on. I mean, it is basically an M Sport, right? It's got M Sport suspension and it's got M Sport front bumper, so everything that makes it an M Sport, I guess, is on this. But anyway, not going to debate this. I've got some new wishbones coming. Male, M-E-Y-L-E, male, I guess that's how you pronounce it, or mile. The German manufacturers, these wishbones are only a year old, but I'm going to replace them anyway because I went over a pothole, and this wheel is a little bit clattering. You go over certain bumps and it clatters, so that it's not right. So I'm getting two new ones. But the thing with the male ones is that the ball joints, if you ever need to replace those, they can come out separately from the wishbones. Well, on these I think you've got to change the whole unit, so we're getting those out now. Because I'm doing that, I've decided I'm going to treat the car to an upgraded suspension. Now, of course, the one to go for on a car like this is the Eibach Bilstein partnership. So I'm looking at the B12 Sport lines or the B12 Pro. The difference between the two is that the Sport lines give you a little bit more of a drop than the Pros do, by about 5 millimeters or something like this, front and back. I don't know, but it's quite a drop. Now my problem is I don't want to drop too much. I know the front's going to go down by maybe a couple of 2 or 3 centimeters, which, if you look on that's I haven't got a lot of space to go in there, but I really need some drop on the rear because I do have more of a gap with the rear, although it doesn't look like it right now. Actually, that looks quite normal. I don't want to go so low that every time I go over a Humpty Back bridge or a speed bump, I need to worry about my new splitters scraping. Also, if it dips any lower, I'm going to have to fork out more money. Let me just close this door, to buy a low profile jack, because a normal jack's not going to fit under there anymore if I lower it anymore. So I believe the Pro version of the Eibach Bilstein combination, I believe the B12 Pros is the same as what the M Sport suspension is, same drop, and I think from what I hear it's the same combination that's used on M Sport cars. But if that is true, then this car doesn't have the correct dampers, because the dampers on these are Sachs, S-A-C-H-S, Sachs, and if you look online, they're very, very cheap shock absorbers. I don't want those on this car. I don't want, obviously somebody's gone out and replaced the shocks on this car in the past and just gone for the cheapest option and just put sacks on there. So having found that out, that's kind of knocked me off the fence, because I was on the fence about doing the suspension upgrade. I thought, well, should I, shouldn't I? But once I've seen that this car's got sacks, cheap ass dampers, then yeah, now I'm definitely going to go for the Eibach Bilstein. I haven't made the decision yet whether to go for Sportline or Pro. I guess it depends on the drop. I think the ride's going to be about the same. It's fairly pricey. I'm going to be paying, knocking on for £650, which I guess is like £162 per corner. But I think I'll probably be happier with them done. So there's no point in me getting the wishbones replaced until I get the suspension, and then the whole thing can be done in one go. And then of course, once all that's on, the car will go down to another garage and it will have the tracking and any wheel alignment done, so it's all pointing in the right direction. That's the plan. Today, however, is a much easier day because it's just a case of washing the car and getting the splitters on. So without me rambling on any further, let's get on with that. Right, car is washed, polished and sealed. I mean, I've used the sealant on it, so she's all good now. So now it's jacked up on these ramps. I'm going to try and get the splitters on, and then take it from there. It's going to be an arse getting these splitters on. I just know it. This is not going to be an easy job. It never is. It looks like they're just going to go into place, and you just drill 3 screws in. No, if only. Right, there you go. It's on. Now, it wasn't as hard as I thought because of 2 reasons. One, there's already holes underneath where somebody's had splitters on this before and taken them off. Thanks a lot. And secondly, I only used one of those holes that were in before because the other 2 didn't line up quite right, so I had to make my own. But what's cool is that these screws are so sharp and the plastic is so cooperative that I'm just able to just put the screw on the end of the screwdriver and just push up and just twist, and it just makes the hole. So that was relatively easy to get on, and now I've got the other one to do. And then I think what I'm going to do is jack the car up at the front on this side, and then take the wooden block off and then bring it down, because I've got a feeling that taking it off on this side there's not going to be quite enough clearance to stop this from coming off, I think, because it was very tight going on. This side had a couple of millimeters more clearance, so it would probably come off that block easy. But again, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to put a jack underneath, jack the car up, take the wooden ramp away, and then just bring the car down safely, and we should be good to go. I mean, it's not an ideal fit. As you can see here, the corners not quite the same, and there's no fear of, like, you know, this becoming a water trapment, because it's not like the bumper can rust or anything. So, but yeah, it's on there, it's secure, so we'll do the next one. Right, there we go, it's on. I did use the back hole on this one again, so whether that's resulted in it not being as accurate as possible, but you know what, it's fine. You know, because of the way the plastic is, I don't think you're going to get it much better than this. It's not going to be a perfect fit, you know, it's not from factory. They're third-party molds, so, you know, it is what it is. Let me just get this box out of the way. So, she's finally on her splitters, and yeah, now it's time to get the car down safely. I'm going to use a trolley jack, just get it under the front mounting there. I know I've got to jack it up quite a way because I've got to clear the you know, I've got to do the suspension travel and everything, but shouldn't be a problem. If it is, yeah, what if it is? I'll think of something, don't worry. I'll think of something. Right, she's down. Now she's not sitting properly yet on the front because I need to take it for a little bit of a ride just to seat it properly. But there she is with the splitters on, looking every inch of Clubsport now. But because these are unpainted and just, you know, I'm going to put some of this amazing Angel Wax Corona on it, and that's going to give it a shine, and it's also going to give it some protection. It won't give me protection against scratches, but it will protect against, I'm just going to leave it to soak for a minute. It will give me protection against maybe things getting attracted to it, like hairs and stuff. I also used it on this back part of the car. This stuff's brilliant. I mean, let me see if I can demonstrate. Look. Look at that. I hope you can see in this light, but that's like really shiny now. Got some on the exhaust there. Angel Wax, you can use it on your paint. I don't need to in this case because the car's been polished. You can use it on paint. You can use it for back to black stuff. You know, it's really good for back to black, especially on black trim. You can use it on tyres to make them all nice and shiny. I'm not going to do that on these though because it's a little bit used car salesman-y to do that, I think. You know, when used car salesmen want to make the car look better than what it might be, then that's what they do. Okay, so let's take this stuff off now and see what we end up with. Ooh. Okay, so there, just a nice semi-gloss, very shiny now. You see the difference? Look at that. And it's not like, oh, as soon as you wash it it's going to go away. No, not really. It stays protecting it for ages. I've used it on an old Vauxhall Frontera. All the trim on it was all grey, and you know when black trim goes all grey and white coloured and it just looks old and manky. Well, I put Angel Wax Corona on it about what, 5 months ago, and to this day, even after I've washed it a couple more times, it's still absolutely black. So it does hold up. Angel Wax Corona, buy it now. There you go, done. Just one more quick job to do, which is top up the water on the windscreen wipers, and I'm good to go. Thanks for watching. I'm sorry I didn't show you the procedure, but it was just a case of putting a screw up into the body, pressing this side in as far as it will go, and then just pushing up with the screw. It goes straight through the plastic bodywork. Doesn't need much coaxing, much forcing, and that's it. Just put them in place and put 3 screws on it. It's just literally as simple as that. It literally is. I'm going to put some stuff in the screws as well so that they can't just be unscrewed. So yeah, that's it. Catch you next time. Bye.